Hi class, welcome back to my channel. So in the last video, we completed the question till this part where we calculated the value of log 8535. And under the rules of log, the quotient rule says that log x by y is log x minus log y. So I've already calculated the log of this, that is 8535, now minus log of 10,000. So when you see on the log table, 10,000 the value is 0, so 0.0, and the number of digits here are 5, so 5 minus 1 is 4, equals to minus 2n log of 102, so it is 102, the value is 0086, so 0086, and the digits are here are 3, so 3 minus 1 2, minus log 100 is 0 only, but the number of digits here are 3, so 3 minus 1 2. Okay, now you just simply have to solve this. So just see 3.9312 minus 4 is minus 0.0688 minus 2n, 2.0086 minus 2 is 0086, and then you can simply calculate the value. You will find that n is equals to 4 years. So this is the value. Okay, so this is pretty simple. Only the tricky part here involved was the log quotient rule and log power rule. Okay, so this is very simple. Now we'll quickly move to the next question, that is question number 3. In this question, a debt of 3,000 which is due 6 years from now is instead to be paid by 3 payments, that is 500 now, 1500 in 3 years, and final payment at the end of n years. So this question is very similar to the previous question where we have to calculate the value of n. In that particular question, the rate of interest was 4% compounded semi-annually, but in this case it is 6% per annum effective. So don't get confused with this particular term effective. The calculation part will remain the same. This is 6% per annum. So very simple, you just have to take 6% wherever the rate of interest is involved, and you have to find the value of n. And as suggested in the previous question also, whenever you have to calculate the value of n, choose the focal date as to be the current date, that is 0 years. Similarly, you have to use this formula only for the present value. So let's just quickly move to the table part. So older obligation in this case is 3,000 which is due 6 years from now. So you have to calculate the value for the present date. So this is 6% minus 6 because this is 6 years. So minus 6. Then new obligation, first payment is 500 now. So it is already now. So we don't have to change this value. This value is already at the current date. So this is same. Next 1500 in 3 years. So 1500 in 3 years. So this is very simple. Rate of interest is 6% minus 3 because we have to calculate the present value of this value to the current date. The next is 475 in n years. So this is minus n. After this, simple, the equation will be this equals to this plus this plus this. So I'm not discussing the calculation part here because this is very simple. You have to use the same logic as we have discussed in the previous question. So you can do this question as a part of practice and then you can match the answer. So in this case, the answer coming out to be 5 years. Okay. The last important question which I am going to discuss here is question number 4. In this case, a money is worth 4% effective. What equal payments X at the end of 1 year and 3 years will replace the obligation of 20,000 due in 3 years without interest and rupees 4,000 plus interest at the rate of 4% compounded semi-annually, which is due in 6 years. Okay, so what is happening in this case? you have to make two equal payments. Both the equal payments are assumed to be X. One payment at the end of 1 year and the next payment at the end of 1 year and at the end of third year. And the older obligations, ये जो equal payment है दोनों, ये दोनों discharge करेंगे. Older obligation, that is 20,000 which is due in 3 years without interest, and rupees 4,000 which is due including this particular interest. Okay, so in this case what I have to do, I have to decide first the focal date, and in this case I have to assume two equal payments है XX. So एक 1 year पे हो रहा है, एक third year पे हो रहा है. तो I am assuming the focal date as to be 3 years. You can also change this to 1 year. It is up to you. जहां पे भी जो भी तुम्हें assume करना है, you can assume it, because in जो भी assume करोगे वैल्यू सारी उस assumed focal date पे ही you have to calculate. ठीक है. So in my opinion I have taken the focal date as to be 3 years. ठीक है. So first जो मेरी x होगी at the end of 1 year. अब मेरा फॉर्मूला क्या यूज हो रहा है, सम वाला. अब तक मैं क्या कर रही थी, प्रेजेंट वाला. सो सम वाले में क्या होता है, p मल्टीप्लाई 1 प्लस r रेज टू पावर n. इसमें माइनस साइन नहीं आता, माइनस साइन आता है व्हेन वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट द प्रेजेंट वैल्यू, बट इन दिस केस आई एम कैलकुलेटिंग द फ्यूचर वैल्यू, सो n विल बी पॉजिटिव हियर. ठीक है. सो x एट द एंड ऑफ 1 ईयर इज x. 1 प्लस कितनी इफेक्टिव है मेरी, मनी इज 4% इफेक्टिव. सो 4%, और मैं नेक्स्ट I'll take this value to next 2 years because this is at the end of 1 year and my focal date is 3. So balance is 2 years. The next is 3 years. Sorry, this is misprinting. So this is X at the end of third year. So I don't have to change any value here. This value is already at the end of 3 year. So these are my new obligation. Now come back to our older obligation. So in this, my first older obligation was 20,000 due in 3 years without interest. ठीक है. ओल्डर ऑब्लिगेशन में there was no interest, so whatever the value of the present date, it's the same as at the future date, that is after third year. So in this case it is without interest, so we don't have to multiply this with anything because this 20,000 which is due in 3 years is without interest. So 3 years is my focal date and it is already after the end of third year. So the value is 20,000. I'm not going to multiply this with anything. This is same. Okay. The next older obligation, it says it is 40,000 here. So this is 40,000 plus interest at the rate of 4% compounded semi-annually, which is due in 6 years. So in this particular case, this 40,000 is getting due after 6 years. Okay. And उसमें interest लग रहा था semi-annual. Okay, so 4% semi-annual for 6 years. So first what I'll do, I'll take this value up till the end of 6 years. So first I'll calculate the future value of this value and then I'll calculate the present value at the end of third year. ठीक है. In this case calculation नहीं चाहिए थी because that was without interest, but in this case just because this particular statement is added along with this 40,000, so we have to make this additional calculation. So what I have done, 40,000 multiply 1 plus, this is semi-annual, so 4% is 2%, then 6 years hai, so 6 into 2, 12. So first I have calculated the future value. After calculating the future value, because now this value is at the end of 6 years and my focal date is what, this is 3 years. So now I have to calculate this value and I have to calculate the present value of this value, that is by using this formula, that is 1%, 4% rate of interest, that is effective rate of interest, minus 3, because this is after the end of 6 years and focal date is 3, so this is minus 3. Okay, so this is very important point for you to remember. Whenever in older obligation the interest part is there, in that case you have to first calculate the future value and then you have to calculate the present value at the focal date. So in this case the minus sign is here. Okay, because this is the present value and this is the future value. So हमने क्या किया है, पहले 40,000 को हमने 6 साल के बाद की वैल्यू को कैलकुलेट किया है. उस वैल्यू को कैलकुलेट करने के बाद हमने उसे 3 इयर्स पे वापस उसका प्रेजेंट वैल्यू निकाला, उसको डिस्काउंट किया है जिससे वो 6 साल से 3 साल पे आ जाए, इसलिए यहाँ पे माइनस साइन है. इसके बाद there is nothing to discuss in this question. You have to just form the equation. So this is 20,000 plus 40,000 into 1.02 raised to power 12 into 1.04 raised to power minus 3 equals to x 1.04 raised to power 2 plus x. So your equation is this. And you already know how to solve this question. You already have the tables at the back of your book where you can calculate these values. So after calculating the value, this will be your answer. So you can practice this on your own, and in case of any doubts you can definitely reach out to me, and I'll definitely help you to solve the question. Okay, so thank you so much for watching the video, and in case of any topic in which you need a video or you need any assistance, you can definitely write to me either on the YouTube channel Classroom app, or you can also directly WhatsApp me. Okay, thank you so much.